Alright, we just got to the garage, and real quick, a lot of you guys have been asking where the Suburban went, what happened to it. It hasn't gone anywhere. You just haven't seen it because I've just been driving it, and it's been doing really well. Except for one day I went to get in it and go somewhere, and it didn't fire up, and I wasn't sure what was wrong at first, and then did a little bit of math, ran out of gas. Fuel gauge doesn't work, so I was just watching the odometer, and it should have been getting about 15. It was getting exactly 14 miles a gallon. I put in 10 gallons, drove 140 miles, parked it, didn't fire up. So that was fun. All right, and then there's just one more thing I want to address before this video gets started. Well, two more. Merch first, link down below. Like the past week, I think 3 of you guys have commented about putting a heater in the garage. The garage does have a heater. See, right there's the furnace. We do have a heater. Just usually, I turn it on right before I start recording, and it takes a little while to heat the garage up.
It's been on since 7 this morning.
Yeah, today it's nice. I've had a few people comment like, why don't you guys put a little salamander heater in the garage? And it's like, it has a heater, it just takes a while to heat the place up. But yeah, that looks a lot better. Can see things now. Yeah.
Fucking lights that whole area up nice.
I'm sure it's not gonna look much different on camera, but in person it's like a good 10 times brighter in here.
And I can see on this side of the bike now really good.
Yeah, that always was a pretty poor situation.
Yeah, I just drove the scaffolding down and took it back just a little bit ago.
See, the funny thing is that corner is like as bright as it's always been, but now because it's so bright over here, that looks super dark.
Yeah.
How long have we been talking about putting more lights in here? Like a year?
Yeah. Ever since I saw them. Man, because where I had outlets up there, I tore the lights out, all the outlets are gone. It's like, what the hell? I used to have 4-foot fluorescents up there once. So I had to dig up some outlets and put these two, which is the only two. So that's part of why I left that, but.
Just hardwired?
Yeah.
It's funny, I was just debating a couple days ago about putting some more lights in my basement. Like getting 2 or 4 more.
They dropped from 39 to 29 down to Sam's Club.
Oh wow.
So I grabbed 6 of them this time. But yeah, it definitely takes away the shadows all over here.
Yeah, actually.
And you can see shit when you're using the drill press. Kenny is gonna
come up
bring
with
a truck over so we can load 2 of the motors out of here and get on his.
that Ford motor and
2 Ford motors.
oh yeah, that guy, because he pulled one out and then that spare. Yeah, that's right, I forgot about that.
Yeah, they're supposed to be bringing that Ranger over sometime today.
Alright, well, I'm sure you guys have noticed by now that there's not a gold turd sitting right here. That's because that truck's over at my place, been driving it around a little bit, messing with the tune here and there. Starting to get things improved a lot. So that's not what we're messing with today. Today we're back with Jack Black. Gonna tear into that motor a little bit and try and figure out what went wrong there. Hopefully come up with a for sure plan on what we're gonna do with it. Whether rebuild that motor, or get a different one for it. And then we'll just tear it apart while it's in the truck so that we don't have another motor sitting around.
We have to drain it all out.
Did we actually put coolant in this or was it just water?
I don't know.
I don't remember either.
I wanted to get it in here just in case.
Yeah. Since you're gonna be doing most of the driving in this one, does that mean you're gonna be doing most of the work? I can just sit back and film?
Don't matter to me.
Looks like most of it made it in the pan. Let's pull the hood, get a little bit better lighting.
Get to making with jive, boy, and shout. When it hits you, yes, 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 you shout. When it hits you, yes, yes, yes.
Alright, so far everything on the top end is looking fine. None of the push rods were bent. We didn't check to see if any of them were clogged yet. But we're gonna pull the lifters out of the boards real quick. So he's hooking up a ground. We got a bottle to catch the fuel, and I'm just gonna crank it over for a second or two to push all the lifters up, and then we can grab them out a whole lot easier. I wonder if we could just get them with the magnet. Let's see. Oh yeah, I think the magnet will work. Since I just pulled one out. Well, this one looks all right. Let's pull the rest out and see how they look. All right, just got all the lifters pulled out, and aside from one of them, I don't know which one it was, but aside from one of them, they all looked fine. The other one just had a little hot spot, but nothing I'd really worry that much about. I was really expecting to see one with a little bit of carnage on it. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping to see one with a little bit of carnage on it because it would have made for good video. But since they all look fine, we're probably gonna put them back in. He's making a tool to connect into the drill so we can spin the oil pump and see if oil's squirting through all of them. Because the motor did sit for a while, so they could all just be plugged up, who knows. We both have a feeling that the motor's gonna have to come out regardless, but we still wanna do as much testing just to, it could be a simple thing. You never know. Could be, I would say could be oil pump, but it had like 70 pounds of pressure a few times. There's a, no, oh, there's one back here. That very back one's doing a little bit of something, but nothing on any of the other ones on this side. Yeah, so what we were doing there, he was spinning the oil pump, and then in each of these little bores where the lifters go, it forces oil through, and it feeds it, come on.
Yeah, it seemed like
it feeds it, what?
How the fuck does oil get to it?
Well, it feeds it into these holes on the side, and then it forces it up through the top, through the push rod.
Well, then it's gotta come. I wonder if we have to have the lifters in
to build up the pressure. We can try it again with the lifters in.
Because if not, it's only gonna go to the back.
Well, I don't know if it forces all the way through or if there's individual passages. I've never looked at any schematics.
Oh, right. Fucking water. Damn it.
Yeah, I don't know. We could be idiots and the lifters need to be in there. Wouldn't that be something? Us being idiots. How unusual. That should be a whole lot more obvious because they should actually squirt out the top of them.
The other way. No oil pressure. I think it's possible the drill just ain't spinning fast enough.
It is very possible.
The car I own is doing 800 RPMs.
Right?
Again, how much oil we got?
I like to imagine it's pretty full. Doesn't mean it is. We don't have any oil?
No.
Well, shoot, where'd our oil go? We did put oil back in this, right? I'm sure we did. I'm not that sure we did. There's some old stuff up here. If not, we got a bunch in this jug.
That is true. But it could be antifreeze and everything else in there.
That oil still looks good.
Oh yeah, it didn't even need a funnel.
Yeah, according to the dipstick, we've got at least an inch of oil. 1 oil inch.
This ain't gonna be the prettiest oil.
You just want to practice that technique.
Fucking sludge. Well, we gotta drain it out anyway. Jesus.
What we do now.
Yeah, we do now. That's the shit I drained out of that.
All the stuff that might have coolant in it. Let's not use that. Might have coolant in it. God, this stuff is fucking gross looking.
Well, one of my brighter ideas.
Well, you're coming off such a high with these lights. That was a big standard to live up to.
No, what really sucks is we drove that motor down and never checked the oil, see if we even had oil.
I swear we had oil in it.
Is that oil that thick it ain't even draining?
I don't know if what's left is oil anymore.
Yeah, it pumps up so fucking thick that it
Yeah.
overpowers this.
Well, there's 5 that look like they started to do something.
Might still cut something out of there.
It might get a little bit of a better seal though.
Oh, it will seal. We'll make sure I ain't gonna get no 12 volt off anything around here. Yeah, good. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna stick a battery charger on this.
I know we both checked the oil that one day, and there's no way we both missed it being low on oil. At least, I'd like to think that there's no way we both missed it. Let's do this one more time, because why not?
That whole side is. Let it charge up a little.
So the other side's not. Oh, wow. That's wild. Hold on. Alright, we rolled it over a few more times with the different lifters in it, and things still weren't pumping up, so we're just gonna pull the motor out and inspect it better. Nice. Inspect it better while it's out, tear things apart, take a look at bearings, and see what's going on with it. Alright, engine is out, draining the oil before we flip it over, pull the pan, start checking things out. So as soon as that's done dribbling out, we'll pull the pan off and start looking at things. Alright, so we got the engine apart and we found out a few things. Like one, we found out what type of pistons it has, Keith Black. And then a couple other things that we noticed were all of the bearings have hot spots on them, some much worse than others. And then another thing, this is what a normal rod and piston does when you swing it back and forth. And this is what most of them do. I think there's like 3 or 4 of them that just got way too hot and didn't like it very much. And then he just tested some standard size rod bearings on it, and it seems like the crank's been turned down a little bit. Don't know for sure how much, but we think the crank's good. Everything turns over nice and easy now. Still not completely sure about the oiling issue, although all this stuff gunking up the pickup certainly didn't help. But that's going to do it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. We'll see you next time.